In just 24 hours, a chain of disasters struck across a vast region. Flash floods, landslides, and the violent force of Typhoon Danas ravaged 5 major provinces: Shaanxi, Yunnan, Chongqing, Sichuan, and Guizhou, in the remote mountain town of Shaanxi. The only bridge connecting it to the outside world was swept away in the blink of an eye. Elsewhere, in places like Zifanba, the disaster arrived in silence at 4 a.m., while the entire town was still asleep. The floodwaters crept in unnoticed. Within minutes, sidewalks were waist-deep. Cars floated, collided, and swirled like toys. In a flooded amusement park, China, a nation of modern infrastructure and advanced technology, was forced to face a painful truth. You can control traffic. You can manage networks. You can even control people, but you cannot control nature. And when nature gets angry, it doesn't knock. It breaks down the entire door. In today's video, we'll take you to the heart of the devastation, where disasters didn't just destroy homes, they crushed hope. You'll hear stories of survival. You'll witness landscapes vanish in mere minutes. And most importantly, you'll understand why this happened and what it takes to survive when it does. Natural destruction presents the edge of life and death, an unstoppable catastrophe. Stay with us. According to the China Meteorological Administration, from July 6th to July 9th, an unusually strong tropical depression system was active over the southwest, combining with southeastern monsoon winds and moisture drawn from the South China Sea. A mass of hot air trapped between mountain ranges created a natural pressure cooker where humidity built up, but had no way to escape. The result, torrential downpours in record-breaking short time frames in Zhujiang County, Sichuan Province. Over 150 millimeters of rainfall were recorded in just 3 hours in Shaanxi, Shaanxi Province. Hydrological monitoring stations reported river levels rising at twice the normal speed, surpassing emergency thresholds. In less than 2 hours, Typhoon Danas, a double-edged sword from the sea, while inland regions were drenched in heavy rains along the coast of Fujian. Typhoon Danas made landfall at midnight, packing Category 11 winds, gusting up to Category 14. But the real danger wasn't just the wind. It was how the typhoon drove massive amounts of moisture inland, triggering intense rainfall across western and central provinces like a giant machine. It sucked moisture from the sea and poured it over the land without pause. NASA Earth Observatory also recorded a rare moisture vortex stretching from the Philippine Sea all the way to western China, an event scientists call extremely rare. In Sichuan, in the early hours of July 9th, a landslide struck near Sichuan village in Zhujiang County. A truck driver named Ma Hao was hauling cargo up a slope, when suddenly rocks and earth came crashing down like a waterfall. He recalled, "I couldn't see anything. I just heard a sound, like thunder. Then everything went dark. I slammed the gas, swerved hard to the left. If I had hesitated for just half a second, I would have been buried alive with my truck." His vehicle still sits, stuck in the mud, less than 1 meter from the edge of the landslide. No one among them thought that day would be the last time they'd see their loved ones. No one imagined that morning would be the moment they'd have to leave everything behind and run for their lives. These stories, they don't make the headlines. They don't come with numbers or statistics. They exist only in the hearts of those who have lost everything. In Sichuan, in the early hours of July 9th, a landslide struck near Sichuan village in Zhujiang County. A truck driver named Ma Hao was hauling cargo up a slope, when suddenly rocks and earth came crashing down like a waterfall. He recalled, "I couldn't see anything. I just heard a sound, like thunder. Then everything went dark. I slammed the gas, swerved hard to the left. If I had hesitated for just half a second, I would have been buried alive with my truck. His vehicle still sits, stuck in the mud, less than 1 meter from the edge of the landslide. No one among them thought that day would be the last time they'd see their loved ones. No one imagined that morning would be the moment they'd have to leave everything behind and run for their lives. These stories, they don't make the headlines. They don't come with numbers or statistics. They exist only in the hearts of those who have lost everything. According to preliminary estimates from China's Ministry of Finance, in just the first week of July, economic losses from floods and Typhoon Danas have exceeded 13 billion yuan, nearly 1.8 billion US dollars. More than 14,000 homes were completely destroyed. Over 200,000 hectares of crops were submerged. Hundreds of riverside businesses were forced to shut down, triggering a chain reaction across entire supply networks. In Guizhou, a car parts factory was buried in mud, leaving over 700 workers jobless. In just 48 hours, in Fujian, fishermen lost everything overnight as their entire aquaculture infrastructure collapsed. It was supposed to be their peak season. Now many have nothing left. No savings, no future. Natural disasters don't just shatter human lives, they also tear apart fragile ecosystems. Hundreds of tons of urban waste spilled into the ocean, threatening marine life and nearby coral reefs. Landslides swept fertilizer and pesticides into rivers, causing large-scale water pollution. Forested regions in Sichuan and Shaanxi suffered severe erosion, raising concerns of localized desertification. An environmental expert from Peking University warned, "This flood hasn't just reshaped the land, it has pushed mountain and coastal ecosystems into crisis mode for at least the next 3 to 5 years." In Yunnan, many coastal residents are demanding compensation for losing everything they owned. But what hurts most isn't just losing your home or your loved ones. It's being forgotten afterward. A typhoon can end in a single night, but its consequences can last a lifetime. It's not just the broken bricks, not just the washed-away bridges. It's the fear, the helplessness, the isolation that lingers in the hearts of those who survive. Physical wounds may heal, but emotional scars are the kind no rescue team can ever reach. A lesson not just for China, but for the entire world today. It's Shaanxi, Sichuan, and Fujian. Tomorrow, it could be Jakarta, Hanoi, Tokyo, or New York. We all live under the same sky, the same atmosphere. Negligence in one place can lead to tragedy in another. If we don't learn from the past, what is today's news will become tomorrow's reality. Where are you watching this video from? A safe room? A strong building? Are you certain your home will never flood, never collapse, never lose connection? No one is certain, because nature doesn't send invitations, it doesn't knock. The only thing we can do is prepare final message from natural destruction. Be alert, be proactive, love the land you live on as if it were your own body, because a small wound today could become an irreparable pain tomorrow.